And you were the first high street bank started in about 100 years, is that right?
Over 100 years.
Over 100 years.
There have been a number of new banks in the UK, ING, some of the Icelandic banks, but they were subsidiaries of existing banks. So we're the first absolutely new bank for almost 140 years.
So why was there an opening in the market for what you're doing?
The UK market was really something of an oligopoly. 4 or 5 big players were controlling 95% of the market. And if one looks at any other market, and I'm a marketer by background, you would say that a market that condensed, that concentrated, provides opportunities. And clearly there was an opportunity for us.
When you were investigating our market opportunities, who did you look to for how you were going to model the bank?
Well, there were 2 things. The first piece of research we looked at was the customer satisfaction levels with existing banks. And in the UK, they are just horrible. One of the high street banks, almost 7 out of 10 of their customers dislike them. So that presented a really great marketplace opportunity. But if you want to be customer-centric, which we do, you have to look at the people who give a great customer experience. And in my book, they tend to be retailers.
Yeah.
So we looked at some of the great retailers like in the UK, like John Lewis, which is a tremendous, almost a mutual-based store. We looked at great companies like Apple, some of the great companies in America, but primarily retailers, people who really put the customer at the center.
So you weren't looking at bankers, you were looking at retailers.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, the levels of service in banking are just abysmal. People really, really dislike them. The reason people move from Bank A on the high street to Bank B on the high street is not because they think Bank B is going to be any better. They just hate Bank A so much. It's almost a protest vote. So our job was to ensure that we could offer them a real alternative.
And I read, and you told me earlier about things like your hours are much longer than others, and even sort of fun things like you're dog friendly. What are some of the things that you did differently?
Well, the dog friendly thing is so amusing. We have dog bowls and we have dog biscuits, so you're very welcome to bring your pet in, have a drink of water, we'll give them a treat. And the press picked up on this. It was a huge thing. I was once asked by a journalist, is this your point of differentiation? And I went, yeah, of course. Raised 75 million to launch a bank. And our point of differentiation is a 50p dog bowl and £1 worth of dog biscuits. But what it says to people is, if they can bring their dog into our bank, and we don't mind if he pees on the floor, or worse, which is what dogs do, then maybe we care more about you as a customer than we care about us as a bank.
And what do you think that your success so far, because you're growing very quickly, maybe going to be listing on the stock market in a year or 2, what do you think other businesses can learn from your success?
Well, what we try and do is do what the customer wants. So although we have stores, we also have telephony, we have the internet, we have mobile banking. But my view of life is that you, the customer, should choose the channel you want to interact with us, when, where, and how suits you. So our stores are open from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. We're open 7 days a week. And guess what? About half of the accounts we open, and we're opening about 3,000 a week at the moment, half the accounts we open outside of traditional banking hours.
That's interesting. And if I want to do it online, I can do it online.
Absolutely.
Great. Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate the time.
My pleasure.